I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm Judge David Spurgeon. I'm running for one of the 2 open seats on the Pennsylvania Commonwealth Court. And that court is a court that is woefully unrepresented. And let me tell you something, it is very, 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 very poorly represented by Democrats. There are 7 Republicans and 2 Democrats on that court. So we do not have enough Democrats. I'm running for it. I'm a trial judge in Allegheny County. I've spent the last 5 years as a trial judge there, dealing with in the family division, dealing with family issues, as well as a huge foster care docket on my list. Prior to that, I spent 19 years in the district attorney's office, and I spent 19 years there. And I'll be the first person to tell you that I never thought I'd stay that long. I went there to hopefully get some trial experience and make some money and leave and make some money so I could pay off all these student loans that I had. But I ended up falling in love with public service and sticking around. And part of the reason that I fell in love with public service is because I got to leave an imprint on the system. When I left, we had more problem-solving courts in Allegheny County than any other county in the state. And one of my passions was our problem-solving courts. So I became the supervisor of our mental health court unit, where we were able to get people out of the jail that had mental health issues that weren't being treated, get them back on the right path, give them the medication that they needed, the support that they needed, and they were able to not be warehoused, because we know no one gets better sitting in the jail, and we were able to give them the services that they need and able to stop that revolving door between the criminal justice system. Based on the success of that, I helped create a veterans court in Allegheny County to address our soldiers coming back with traumatic brain injury and post-traumatic stress disorder that were also using drugs and alcohol to address those issues ineffectively. And so we were able to give them the services that they needed as well. But the real reason I probably stuck around is because I became the lead prosecutor in the area of domestic violence. I was the person that if there was a case where someone was physically or sexually abused, whether it be a woman or child, or murdered as a result of somebody that told them that they loved them, they were in a family relationship with, that came to my attention. I became a national expert in the area. And because of that, I was on Court TV recently talking about the pandemic in the area of domestic violence. And that's the reason I stuck around. I was able to make a real impact in the area of domestic violence. Now, I will tell you that because I've been able to carry that over into the family division as well. But probably what I should be telling you is why I am a good Democrat. As I said, there are 2 seats open. They're both Republican seats that we need to flip. And I'm a good Democrat because the Democratic Party has changed my life. If you would look at me on a piece of paper, you would say, if I was a Republican, they'd say he's not worthy. He's not somebody that matters. He's probably going to be a statistic. But the Democratic Party says that everyone is worthy. And that's the reason you knock on doors and you make phone calls and you phone bank and you do all those things that good Democrats do, because you say that we need to elect good Democrats that affect good democratic change for everyone. And because of that, I can point to 3 specific examples that Democrats changed my life. The first was the Guaranteed Student Loan Act. I never would have been able to go to college or law school without the Guaranteed Student Loan Act. I grew up as the steel mills in Pittsburgh collapsed. My college fund went to pay the mortgage and to pay the light bill. And as a result of that, I went to college and law school. And for the last 8 years, I've been an adjunct law professor at Duquesne University School of Law. I will tell you, my parents, as they watched those steel mills collapse, they never would imagine that I would have been a judge or a law professor. Second reason was the Violence Against Women Act. President Biden passed that when he was in the Senate. Because of that, I was hired to become a specialist in the area of domestic violence and prosecute people that perpetrated that type of violence. Shaped my entire public service career. And the last was the Family Medical Leave Act. Because of the Family Medical Leave Act, I was able to be with my mother when she died. She died of cancer, and I was a good son who was able to hold her hand. But I could take the time off that I needed, and I was able to fight with insurance companies when they denied coverage that she was entitled to, and deal with hospitals and doctors when they were telling her that she shouldn't have something when she should. Because of that, those are the democratic values that I put on with that robe every single day. That's what's woefully unrepresented on Commonwealth Court. That's the view. That's the perspective I have. Allow me to put that black robe on for the Commonwealth Court and allow me to be one of your 2 Democrats that will flip those 2 Republican seats. So I humbly ask for your support, and I look forward to seeing you all again. Thank you, Dave.